Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're playing this video, and welcome to your Infinity Yoga Flow class. For this class, you will need one block. If you don't have a block, you can actually use a book, a dumbbell, or a kettlebell, anything that you're going to be able to balance on, because we are going to be doing half moon in this yoga flow. We have Rachel here who's going to be doing the demonstration. I'll be doing the cueing. We're going to get right into it as we do. So this is your prep pose that you're going to do. You can think of this as the little baby mini flow that you're going to do before the main flow. So definitely do this so we can get you warmed up and going. The prep posing isn't going to necessarily have any breath pattern. We can play with breath pattern, but we really want you to just kind of move through the movement so that your body is ready for the yoga flow. Shall we start, Rachel? All right, starting off in downward facing dog. So getting right into, pedal the knees out left and right. Shoulders have to be relaxed down the back so the lats are engaged. Fingers spread wide, pressing into the thumb and index finger. Feet, now we'll quiet it down, downward facing dog. Feet hip width apart, hand shoulder width apart. Hips way up and back. We're going to move through this. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Woo. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow. So we're going from scorpion into knee to opposite elbow. Breathing in and out of this shape, however you want. But if you want to play with the breath, we'll start to play with the breath. 2 more times. Maybe inhale on the expansion, exhale on the contraction. I want you to be playful with this breath connection to body movement so that you have an understanding of it. Exhale, 1 more. Inhale, back to scorpion. Exhale, plant your foot straight down, coming into, three-legged dog, coming into downward dog. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow. But if you wanted to play with the opposite of the breath, why not? Exhale, see how that feels. Inhale, curl. Might feel a little strange. For the most part, in yoga, on the expansion, you're going to open up, and on the contraction, you're going to exhale. 1 more. Inhale, scorpion, finding maximum distance between hip and hand. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow, squeezing core. Inhale, back to scorpion. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Bring your thumbs together and your feet as wide as the mat. Thumbs together, feet wide. Look forward. Inhale, exhale, step or walk or jump, feet between the hands. On a baby prep pose, I like to walk. Malasana, so knees track toes. I want your knees a little more out than you would do in a traditional squat. We're going to move in and out of this posture. I'll step out of the way. Inhale, reach up, hands high to the sky. As you exhale, drop the hips as low as they can go. Inhale, expand. Exhale, drop. You could also just notice the breath. Maybe not as intense, Eddie or Rachel. Slow it down. We have 1 more to go. Really take up the space, because when do you ever do a movement like this? Reaching up high to the sky, hands to heart center. Drop your hips as low as they can go. Knees track toes, hips stay low. Spine is in line with the shin. So if you notice the alignment of her spine, it's pretty much in line with the shin. You can always use a block or stay a little more elevated if you need to. Drop it back. Hips goes towards the floor, hands go directly behind you. Lay completely flat on your back. We're going to throw some Pilates in here because, as you know, we are a fusion style establishment. So feet are going to be slightly forward of the knees, coming into marching, arms by the side, shoulders relaxed. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, roll through C curve, press your hips up into bridge. Basically make a wave with your spine, straight line from the knee, hip to the shoulder. Inhale, left leg forward, point the toe, exhale, drop it down. Going back and forth at your own pace. I'm counting Rachel. She's got 3 more to go. Notice that the pelvis stays relatively quiet. So quiet the pelvis down. 2 more sets, so 4 total. The knee is going to be in line with the hip still. 1 more set. Pointing the toe, activating the hamstring. Let's pause for the cause on this side. Feel, so your hamstring, glute is going to be active. Feel that. Switch your feet. Other side, just kind of feel the balance and the tension needed to keep that stability happening. Exhale, drop the heel down, lower all the way down, knees come towards chest, grabbing backs of the thighs, start to rock and roll. Squeezing the core, so start to contract because you're going to need that in the flow. 2 more. Rocking back to the shoulders, rolling up. On the last one, more energy, you're going to flow right into tabletop position. Let's get into this from a kneeling position, that way it's a little more easy entry for you. Right leg will lift up high, bend the knee, open the hip, and just drop on over to the other side. All the way down. So you're basically sitting down. Straighten your left leg, keeping the right foot planted firmly on the floor. Inhale, high to the sky, coming into Wild Thing. Exhale, lower down. So all you're doing is pressing into your feet, your hands, the outside edge of the foot. Inhale, back up. Again, playing with the breath pattern. Maybe you just want to notice your breath and move in and out of this posture. See what that feels like. Or if you want to start to dabble into the yoga realm, matching the movement to the breath. 2 more. Inhale on the expansion. Exhale on the deceleration, contraction. Inhale, expand. Exhale, decelerate. A little bit of momentum just to play. Inhale, coming into 3-legged dog. Right leg is lifted. Exhale, downward dog. Dropping into tabletop position. Other side, just so that it's easy entry to get into this for you. And there's no fear. Inhale, left leg high. Bend the knee, open the hip, and you're just going to drop on over. Right leg will straighten. Left foot completely flat. Inhale, reaching up and back. Maybe you get a high five from your yoga partner. Exhale, lower down. 4 more. And if you do want to play with the breath pattern, maybe experiment. How does an exhale feel when you're expanding like this versus an inhale when you're contracting? Might be a little strange, but it's always good to know the juxtaposition of those 2 different breath patterns. Last one, inhale, expand up. Exhale, drop it down. Playfulness, inhale, 3-legged dog. Left leg high to the sky. As you exhale, step the foot between the hands. Drop your back knee. Inhale, reaching both arms high to the sky. This is your crescent moon. We're just going to move slightly in and out of this. So the hips will go back. As you exhale, send the hips forward. Or just move your body in this fashion when your hips are going back and then they're going forward. The knee will drift more towards the middle part of the foot, almost to the big toe. Spine is still tall. Last one. In this position, the hips are gently pressing forward. Spine is still tall. Take a big inhale, being playful. Exhale, fingertip the floor. Firm back leg. Step forward. Right foot meets left foot. On your inhale, coming all the way up to the top. Arms can reach up overhead. So reverse swan dive means what it implies. Like normally you swan dive like this, you swan dive like that. Hands to heart center. I'm going to start you off in a way that's accessible to you. And this can also be your regressions in the flow, correct? So you're going to be balancing on one leg. Lifting the right heel of the foot to start. High on the back, on the front ball of the foot. Staying right here, or transfer that foot to the top of the left foot. Staying right here, or float the leg up into one-legged Tadasana. We're just going to give this a little pulse, little core activation, pulsing the leg up and down. You can also breathe with this. This one I'm not counting, Rach, but I figure we'll do about 10. And just so you feel the weight shift in and out. Plant your right foot down. Inhale, reach both arms high to the sky. On your exhale, open arm twist to the right. So both arms will open up. Hips stay relatively square, but if they open up a little bit, don't freak out. Inhale, back up high to the sky. Exhale, open arm twist, other direction. Inhale, high. Exhale, twist. Just going back and forth. Inhale, exhale. Keep moving at your own pace. We got about 3 more sets if you're following along with Rachel. But if you're going a little bit quicker, that's fine as well. There's no judgment in the yoga section of Vibe Yoga and Fitness. 1 more to go. Inhale, exhale, open. Last one. Notice her gaze or her drishti changes every time she rotates her body. Inhale, hands. Exhale, heart center. Lift up the left heel of the foot, coming in the ball of the left foot. Option to stay here or transferring it to the top of the foot. Right, you can even press it down for a little more stability, or levitate, don't hate, and we have a little pulses. If you notice when you go to pick up your leg or the knee lifts, you'll notice a slight contraction of the core. That's what you want to be aware of when you're moving, so you know how much energy or how little energy, tension to give something in any given posture. On the last one, plant the left foot straight down. Inhale, reach up high to the sky. Now, regular swan dive. Exhale, dive it down all the way. Not your first rodeo, I'm sure, or it might be. Inhale, halfway lift. Back is flat like a surfboard. Exhale, stepping straight back, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale, correct me if I'm wrong, it is your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Drop your back knee. Inhale, reach up high. Just drifting in and out of the posture, so sending the hips forward and back. Forward and back. Maybe being playful with the breath. 2 more. Inhale, expand. Exhale, drift. Last one. Inhale, expand. Exhale, drift. This can translate over into any crescent lunge or even warrior one to a degree. Shoulders and hips are square. The knee can be stacked over the ankle. If it starts to drift more towards the front part of the foot, it's fine, as long as it doesn't go too far forward. Being playful. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, plant the hands, step straight back, downward facing dog. Let's begin. Feet hip width apart. Toes slightly pigeon-toed. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. We're going to be moving in and out of the postures, bending your right knee, opening up the hip, scorpion. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, drop straight down into seated wild thing. Left leg is long, right foot is planted, right palm to the sky, pressing into the left palm. Inhale up, coming into wild thing. Exhale all the way down and really move this range of motion 2 more times. Inhale, reach up high to the sky. Exhale, drop down, expanding the body. Inhale, high. Exhale, decompressing. Last one. Inhale, high to the sky and hold. Some finer points. Just pressing into the left palm, right ball of the foot, and the edge of the left foot is pressing firmly into the floor. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, using a little bit of energy, coming into 3-legged dog. Flexing foot. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger curl. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, tiger curl. Knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Flexing foot, hip pointing towards the mat. Exhale, tiger curl and hold. Doming the upper body, squaring off the shoulders, squeezing the core. Knee towards chest or nose. Inhale, back to 3-legged dog. Exhale, step, low lunge. Front knee stacked over ankle. Back heel is lifted, shoulders are relaxed. Inhale, crescent lunge. Moving in and out of this posture. Exhale, I want you to drop your chest and hug your leg, give your leg a little kiss. Inhale, crescent lunge, reaching high to the sky. Exhale, hug the leg. Back heel is still lifted, front knee still stacked. Inhale, up high. Exhale, give yourself a hug, decompress. Inhale, back to crescent lunge and hold. Shoulders are relaxed, spine is tall, vertical if you will, and she's lifting through your hips. So see if you can lift through your hips, make sure your front knee is stacked over the ankle, back heel is lifted. Take a big, ginormous inhale here. Exhale, coming into Skandasana, dropping down. Right leg is straight, left knee is bent, weight towards the left heel of the foot. Keeping Skandasana as you exhale, you're going to come into warrior 2 legs. Breathe here. Back to Skandasana. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2 legs. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, warrior 2 legs. Last one, inhale, Skandasana, and hold. In your Skandasana, the weight is more to the rear of the leg, rear of the foot. Spine is in line with the thigh bone, right? So you have that nice 45-degree angle. The right leg is straight. Breathing here, normal, feeling the motion. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, coming into runner's lunge, walking your hands towards the top of your mat. Back heel is lifted, front knee is stacked. Exhale, knee behind knee, Shiva squat. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, Shiva. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, Shiva. Last one. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, Shiva, and hold. Finding a balance point here. So knee is behind the knee, shoulders are down, chest is up. Nice neutral spine, not too arched, not too scooped. Right hand goes to your block. Go to the tall side of the block, tall like a building. We're going to be moving in and out of the posture. Inhale, coming into half moon. Keeping the knee bent. Exhale, fold, drop back into Shiva squat. Find the motion between the movement. Inhale, half moon, opening up the left hip. Exhale, coming into Shiva squat. One more inhale, half moon. Exhale, Shiva, and on the last one, coming into your expression of half moon. The top hip is rolling open, hand is balancing on the block, hand, shoulder, shoulder, hand. So one line, back foot is flexed, spine is long. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, dropping into your runner's lunge. Inhale, left arm is going to reach forward. And by left, I mean right. Exhaling up. Holding here, we're going to do a little T rotation, thoracic rotation. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, square back off. Inhale, open. Exhale, square. Notice that she's rotating from the torso. Last one, inhale, open. And exhale, holding your low lunge twist. You're going to hear this a lot, but shoulder to shoulder alignment. Her pelvis isn't too low nor too high. The spine is long, and she's separating the mat with her feet and her hands, expanding her body. Taking an inhale, follow your right hand, exhale, drop it underneath you, walk it to the back of the mat, taking your block with you to the other side of the mat, dropping the knee to the floor. We're going for a little hamstring stretch. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, send the hips back. Left leg will straighten. Inhale, open up chest. Exhale, left leg straighten, sending the hips back. Inhale, last one. Exhale, holding here. You're on the back ball of your foot, spine is long. You can be on your fingertips for a little bit of added height. Front leg, front foot is flexed. Breathing deep into the hammy. Take a big inhale as you exhale, coming back into your kneeling lunge. Keeping the knee on the floor. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Crescent moon. Shoulders are down the back, chest is up. Breathing deep into the body. We're going for a little mini back bend. Take an inhale as you exhale. Open up the chest, cactus the arms. Inhale, back to crescent moon. Exhale, cactus. Breathing back and forth, opening up the chest, opening up the body. On the last one, finishing your crescent moon, shoulders are relaxed. If you notice, the hips are gently coming forward. She's still tall through the spine, so there's not an overly active compression or contraction of the back or the core. Coming onto the ball of the foot. As you stand, inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, back to kneeling crescent moon. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, crescent. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, crescent. Last one, inhale and hold. Left hand can come to the hip. Inhale, reach up high to the sky. Exhale, open arm twist. Inhale, back high to the sky. Exhale, drawing that arc, open arm twist. Maybe she get a high five. And inhale, back up. Exhale, open arm twist. Feeling the body here. Notice she's trying to keep her hips very square, but if they open up a little bit, it's all to the good. Planting down firmly to the four corners of the feet. Inhale, reach up, back up high. Exhale, start to hinge, send your leg back into warrior three. If you need a block, you can always balance on the block. We're going to give this a little bit of a movement. Exhale, bend the bottom knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Spine is still long. Exhale, straighten. Find a counterbalance between the head and the leg. Last one. Hold the warrior three. Upside down letter T. You're encouraging the hip to gently go towards the mat. Spine is long. Breathing here. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, plant your palms. Plant your foot. Step right into scorpion. Inhale, left leg high to the sky, looking for that maximum extension between the hip and the palm of the hand. Exhale, drop your hip all the way down, seated wild thing. Now we're on the other side. Inhale, reach up high, wild thing. Exhale, lower down, seated. Notice she's making a base between the three parts of her body, hand, ball of the foot, and outside edge of foot. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, drop it down. Your last one, inhale up and hold. Breathe into the shape. So you're making a nice arc, planting the palm flat. Neck is relaxed. Exhale, lower down. A little bit of energy, momentum. Inhale into three-legged dog. Flexing foot. Hip is pointing down towards the mat. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger curl. Get your core on. Inhale, three-legged dog, energy through the heel. Exhale, tiger curl, curling into the position. Inhale, three-legged dog. Foot is flexed, energy through the leg. Exhale, draw everything in using your core. Knee towards nose, dome the back, press the mat away. Get tight, breathing here. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, relief is coming up, stepping into low lunge. Back heel lifted, front knee stacked, spine is long. Inhale, crescent lunge. Moving through this like slow motion, exhale, hug your leg. Wrapping the torso against the thigh. Inhale, back up high to the sky, crescent. Exhale, hug leg. Really working through that motion, feeling the arms expand, the chest lower. Last one, inhale, high to the skies. Back heel is lifted. She's high on the back ball of the foot. Leg is engaged firmly. Energy shooting through the leg. Hips, shoulders squared, knees stacked over ankle. Shoulders relaxed, looking straight ahead. Spine vertical. Take a big inhale. Exhale, dropping into Skandasana. Some finer points in Skandasana. Left leg is long, foot is flexed. She has her toes pulling back towards the nose. I want your shoulders relaxed. Hands can be to heart center, but for added support, you can elevate your hips, place your hand on a block, or fingertips on the floor for a little bit more balance or stability. Weight is all the way into the right heel. Breathing easy. Let's move. Inhale, coming into your low lunge. Back heel is stacked, front knee is stacked. Exhale, Shiva squat, knee behind knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, Shiva. Inhale, low lunge. Chest stays low. Exhale, last one. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, Shiva. Finding balance. Spine is neutral, so we're not overarching or collapsing. Nice lengthy spine, balancing. Hand will transfer to the left side of the block, tall side of the block. Inhale, coming into the prep for half moon. Knee is bent, foot is flexed. Exhale, lowering down. Torso will rotate as you roll open your hips, so feel that movement before you get into the movement. Inhale, rolling the hip. Bottom leg is tight and engaged. Exhale, last one. Inhale, coming into your expression of half moon. Shoulder over shoulder. Top hip is rolling open. Top foot is flexed, balancing four corners of the feet. Head between shoulders. Breathing here. Inhale. Exhale, dropping into low lunge twist. Left arm's going to reach up. It's breathing here. Finer points, heel is stacked, knee is stacked. Inhale, torso will rotate, little thoracic rotation. Exhale, slightly square it off. Inhale, rotation, using the bottom hand for leverage. One more, inhale, open. Exhale, finishing in your low lunge twist. Notice that there's space in the shoulders, so she's not crunching, she's actually separating so that there's freedom in the body. Energy shooting through fingers. Breathing here, big inhale. As you exhale, take your block with you. Walk it to the back, to the top of your mat where you started, dropping the knee. Inhale, open up the chest, coming into your hamstring stretch. Exhale, send the hips back. Inhale. This is like when you're going to go for a little light jog or a sprint. You're kind of moving the body. The torso will rotate, or open rather, and the pelvis will go back. One more. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, send the hamstrings back. Staying high on the back ball of the foot. Right leg is flexed, sending the hips back. Shoulders are still down. Breathing as you exhale, coming back into your kneeling lunge. Inhale, crescent moon. This variation, we do want you on the ball of the foot. As you exhale, little mini back bend, opening up the chest. Cactus your arms. Inhale, reaching, crescent moon. Exhale, notice the natural expansion and contraction of the body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, last one, coming into crescent moon. Standing up, exhale, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale, back to crescent moon. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana. Beautiful Rach. Inhale, exhale, last one. Inhale. Standing up, exhale, one-legged Tadasana. Right hand to hip. Inhale, reach up high to the Milky Way, the heavens, the galaxy. Exhale, open arm twist. Inhale, back to lengthening. Exhale, rotate. One more. Inhale. Exhale, rotate, breathing and holding here. Notice that the hips are going to stay relatively square to the top of the mat. Shoulders relaxed. Inhale, back up high to the sky, right into your warrior 3. Exhaling, kicking the leg back, upside down letter T, putting a little bit of motion into this asana. Exhale, bend the bottom knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, soft bend. Inhale, straighten. Last one. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Upside down letter T for terrific. Breathing, balancing through the four corners of the feet. Inhale into the shape from the heel to the head. Exhale, drop both hands. This time, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe, exhale, roll through, coming into high plank position. Option to drop both knees or lower down halfway chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Swoop the chest, arms are straight, shoulders are relaxed, tops of the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take a knee, coming into child's pose. From child's pose, we're going to flow into this infinity flow twice. It makes a mandala. You're going to go 360 degrees around your mat. If you need to take a break, always take a break in child's pose or grab a sip of water. Other than that, we are about to flow. Coming into tabletop position, take a big inhale, tucking back toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Scorpion, open up the leg. Exhale, dropping into seated skandasana. Left leg straight, right foot flat. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, lower all the way down, seated wild thing. Inhale, three-legged dog. Foot is flexed. Exhale, knee to nose. Tiger curl. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. Exhale, stepping into low lunge between the frames of your arms. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, skandasana, dropping the hips towards the left leg. Inhale, runner's lunge. Exhale, Shiva squat, knee behind knee. Hand goes to the block, right hand to block. Inhale, open up into half moon. Exhale, dropping into low lunge. Inhale, reaching up and back, low lunge twist. Exhale, follow the hand, walk it to the back of the mat. Don't forget your block. Dropping the knee. Inhale, open up chest. Exhale, coming into hamstring stretch. Inhale, crescent moon. Both arms reach up high and the ball of the foot as well. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale, left hand to hip, reaching high to the sky. Exhale, open arm twist and one-legged Tadasana. Inhale, back to one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, coming into your warrior, number 3. Breathe here, take a big inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, hands to mat. Inhale, scorpion, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, seated wild thing, dropping the hips, right leg long. Inhale, wild thing, drawing a big arc, a big rainbow. Exhale, seated, drop it down. Inhale, three-legged dog, flexing foot. Exhale, bring it in, curl it in, tiger curl. Inhale, expand, three-legged dog. Exhale, stepping into low lunge, back heel lifted. Inhale, crescent moon. And by crescent moon, I mean lunge. Exhale, coming into skandasana. Inhale, coming into runner's lunge. Exhale, Shiva squat. Transfer hand to block. Left hand has it. Inhale, half moon. Or maybe you don't need the block at this point in the game. Exhale, dropping into your low lunge twist, reaching up and high to the sky. Inhale, walk it to the back of the mat. Take your block with you. Chest is up. Exhale, hamstring stretch, gliding the hips back. Inhale, crescent moon. Ride the energy. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale, reaching high to the sky, hand to the hip. Exhale, open arm twist, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale, back to one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, into Warrior 3. Listen for the breathing pattern. We're going to go a little bit quicker. Inhale, exhale, plant your palms, step straight back. Inhale, Scorpion. Exhale, seated Wild Thing. Inhale, Wild Thing. Exhale, seated. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, Tiger Curl. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, Skandasana. Listen for the change. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, Shiva. Inhale, half moon. Woo! Exhale, low lunge twist. Inhale, walk it to the back of the mat. Grab your block. Drop knee, open chest. Exhale, stretch your hamstring. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale, right arm high to the sky, left hand to the hip. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana with a twist. Inhale, back to one-legged Tadasana, glide, fly, coming into Warrior 3. Inhale, exhale, drop the hands. Inhale, Scorpion, left side. Exhale, drop, seated Wild Thing. Inhale, Wild Thing. Exhale, glide it down. Energy, momentum. Inhale, three-legged dog. Contract, squeeze, Tiger Curl. Inhale, expand. Exhale, ride the wave, low lunge. Inhale, torso up, arms up. Exhale, coming into Skandasana. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, Shiva squats. Inhale, half moon, with or without the block. Exhale, low lunge twist. Drop it, reach it, twist it. Inhale, walking the hands, take the block, drop your knee, open chest. Exhale, hamstring stretch. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale, right hand hip, left arm high. Exhale, twist. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, Warrior 3. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Plant hands. Step back. Listen for the change. Downward dog. Breathing here. Shoulders relaxed. Feet hip width. Hands shoulder width. Pressing into your thumb and index finger. Toes slightly subtle. Pigeon-toed in. Inhale. Exhale. Coming into high plank position. Option to drop knees. Exhale. Lower down halfway. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Option to come into child's pose or come into a headstand while I chat you through this next section. This next section, we're going to do a half breath flow. While we do the half breath flow, I'm going to add on. I will decelerate your flow so you know exactly when to stop, slow down, so we can go further into a posture. It'll be really relevant if you're in headstand. Slowly come out of it. Hips, legs, squeezing the core, decelerating down, planting the toes, dropping the knees. If you're in child's pose, time to make your way back to tabletop. We are about to flow. Tabletop position. Inhale. Exhale, tuck toes. Inhale, Scorpion. Bending the knee. Exhale, drop it down all the way. Inhale, really move, fluid. Exhale, lower. Expand. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, Tiger Curl. Inhale, three-legged dog, expanding. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, reaching high to the sky, crescent lunge. Exhale, Skandasana. Inhale, coming into your low lunge. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, planting the right hand. Listen for the change. Exhale, coming into low lunge twist. Breathe here. Drop your back knee. Inhale, reach up high, and then reach all the way back. If you can see the back of your mat and you can comfortably bend the knee, bend the rear knee, capture the top of the foot. I call this catching the dragon's tail. Very Game of Thrones. Shoulders are relaxed. She's looking behind her. There's still space between the shoulders and the ears, so the shoulders have to relax down the back. Belly is soft, which allows her to twist, but she still has a little bit of abdominal pressure, belly towards spine. Knee is stacked over ankle. Breathing into the shape. On your next inhale, open. As you exhale, slight twist and rotation. Letting go of the foot, planting the hand back into the half breath action, coming into your low lunge twist. Inhale, as you exhale, walk it to the back of the mat, take your block with you. Inhale, expand the chest, listen for the change. Exhale, hamstring stretch, breathe here. Option to come into your split. If you have a block, you can take the block and place it underneath your left thigh. Some finer points on the split. One is no stress on the upper body, right? So if you have a little bit of fear, reactivity, and you find yourself bringing your shoulders to your ears, see if you can relax. And that might mean coming a little bit higher out of the posture, which is fine. But if you're good to go, shoulders are relaxed, spine is tall, you can start to manipulate the right hip more towards the mat. So hips are square. That'll kind of keep the integrity of the joint a little bit better, especially since we're statically holding this. If we were moving in and out of it, like functional training or a specific type of movement, that would be a different story. But since we're static, we're looking for some alignment. Top foot can be flexed. Take one more big inhale, expanding into the shape. As you exhale, just soften where you can. Not a real graceful way to come out of this. Going back into the half breath. Removing the block, kneeling lunge. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale, right arm reaches high. Exhale, twist. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, and flow right into your warrior number 3. Torso drops, hips in line with shoulders. Inhale, as you exhale, bend the bottom knee, plant the hands. Inhale, scorpion. Exhale, seated wild thing. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, seated. Ride the wave. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, contract. Inhale, reach, expand. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, skandasana. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, Shiva squat. Hand to block or no block. Inhale, half moon. Maybe looking up towards the sky. Woo! Exhale, coming into low lunge twist. Listen for the change. Drop your bottom knee. Left arm reaches forward, up. Option to stay here. Continue reaching back. If you can bend the knee and grab the rear foot, now is the time to do so. You are twisting, rotating, a little bit of a mini back bend. Hips are gently pressing forward. Belly is relaxed. Shoulders are down. Breathing into the shape. Inhale, expand all 4 corners. As you exhale, you can rotate a little bit more, drop your hips a little bit further. Breathe, spine is nice and elongated. The knee can be slightly turned out, so it's not quite at 12 o'clock, more at 11 o'clock. Breathing into the shape, take a big inhale. Gently release the foot. Coming back into the half breath action. Inhale, low lunge twist. Exhale, walk it. Take your block with you. Back of the mat. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, decelerate. Hamstring stretch. Option, split. You might be more open on one side of the body than the other. That happens with a lot of people. So just if you have that, just notice that and honor that. If you need a block, you can always place it underneath your left thigh. Otherwise, if you're laying completely flat, like Rachel is here, top foot can be flexed. She's being mindful of the back hip and making sure that the hip is pointing more towards the mat than the camera. Legs are long, spine is long, mind is open, shoulders are relaxed. Take a big inhale, breathe into the shape, and maybe a mental thing, let something go. On your next inhale, we're going to make our way out of it. You can use your hands, coming back into the kneeling lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana, like magic. Inhale, open arm twist, hand to the hip, expanding. Exhale. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, coming into warrior numeral 3. Spine is long, breathing here. Inhale, as you exhale, bend the knee, plant the hand, step straight back, downward facing dog. Inhale, articulate into plank position, waving through. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming into child's pose. I have to say, 10 out of 10. That was an amazing flow, and I'm sure at home you got a lot out of it. Again, moving in and out of the postures feels really great. Definitely want to throw this in when you're doing your workouts throughout the week. You're going to be stronger, and you're going to stay injury-free longer. Finishing in child's pose, we're going to cool it down, coming into tabletop position. Lower all the way down to the belly. I'll move that block for you, Rach. Make a little pillow with the backs of your hands. Tops of the feet flat on the mat. Listen carefully for the cueing. Right arm is going to reach long forward. So right arm is long. Left arm is going to reach straight back behind you, capturing the top of the foot. The thumb is going to be facing up. Right arm is long. This is a great stretch right here. All to the good. You can also use a strap or a belt. Otherwise, on your next inhale, start to levitate the arm and the leg. So it's like you're swimming on one side and making an O shape on the other side. Very similar to dancer's pose, but on the floor. We're here for 3 breaths. Every inhale, you expand. Every exhale, see if you can settle into the posture. Inhale, lengthen. So you're going to kick into the palm, which is going to help drive the posture. One more. Inhale, expand the chest. Exhale, lower all the way down. Come back to the pillow. Hands go to the tops of the head or the third eye. Switching the arms. Left arm is long. Right arm is going to reach straight back. Thumb is up. Bending the knee, capturing the top of the foot. Thumb is up. On your inhale, expand the chest, the body, the arm, the leg will start to levitate. You can stay on your fingertips, option to have everything hover and fly. Breathing into the shape, taking a big inhale. Leg can lengthen and hover. 2 more breaths. Inhale, expand the chest, kicking into the leg. Last one. Inhale, really reaching, stretching, making shape. Exhale, lower down, making a fingertip underneath the floor. We're going to push back into a child's pose. So push back in a child's pose, setting yourself up, coming into tabletop position. This time, your right arm is going to reach high to the sky. And you're going to thread it directly underneath you, dropping the shoulder, keeping the weight off of the neck. The left hand's going to be at 90 degrees, so you have a lot more stability. We can add on from here. So this is a nice little twist. Option to straighten the left leg, getting on the ball of the foot. And if you did want to play with the balance here, you can reach the left arm up, wrap it behind the back, and option to hover the left leg, making sure that you engage the core equally to how much you need to. Right, so it's a fine line, not too much, not too little. Breathing into the shape. As you exhale, lowering down, plant the foot, drop the knee, same way you came into it, plant the palm, drop the knee, tabletop position. Other side, you're about to say hi to Mr. Ganesh. Inhale, reaching high. Mr. Ganesh, exhale, thread it down. Shoulder, that's where the weight's at, not on the neck. She's relaxed. There's a slight rotation happening, a slight twist. You can stay here or straighten the right leg by getting on the ball of the right foot. That's your balance point. 90-degree angle with the opposite leg, or reaching up with the arm, wrapping behind the back, lifting the ball of the foot. The core engagement is going to be up to you. You're going to have to feel your body. Too little, you might roll. Too much, it might be too rigid. Take a big inhale. Exhale, same way you came into it. Foot, hand, knee, palm, shoulder, palm. All to the good. We're going to transition to the floor. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, left foot between the hands. Right foot between the hands. Just for a little mobility, take an inhale. As you exhale, start to drop the head. Breathing here, take a big inhale. We're going to work from the bottom to the top. Drop your hips. Relax your knees. See if you can descend all the way down, balling up. Laying, ooh, she balled up for real. Laying completely flat. If you have a block, and we'll demo with the block, this is a good restoration posture. You're going to take the block and place it right underneath your tailbone and dropping flat. That good? Right about there, it's better. And even there is better. So make sure it's flat on the coccyx or the tailbone. Both legs go straight to the ceiling. You can stay here for 5 breaths. This is wonderful. It's a great way to reset. Or, otherwise, you're going to lift both legs towards the ceiling, coming into shoulder stand. So from this position, you're going to plank, and I'm going to move the block for Rach. Making the platform with the backs of the triceps, the shoulders, very little weight on the neck. Me and Rachel could have a conversation here because she's not straining. The feet are going towards the ceiling, sending energy from the hips, through the legs, through the toes, into the sky. Core is engaged as much as you need to, no more, no less. Breathing into the shape, take a big inhale. Soften as you exhale, coming into plow. Legs will drop behind you. If you have the block still underneath you, you can stay in that restorative posture. Otherwise, balls on the feet, arms are straight. If your feet don't touch the ground, it's all good. Still, very little weight on the neck, mostly on the shoulders. Belly is soft. Transitioning into deaf man, deaf woman. As you exhale, just relax the knees and they'll come by the ears. Variation, you can reach back, grabbing the heels of the feet. And relax. This is a great time to kind of feel and understand where your body's at. Very rarely do you get this close to your body where you're this intimate with your body and you're breathing and really paying attention to what your body is telling you. So it's a great posture. Any of these postures are great, but definitely in the cool down. If you have the block underneath you, you'll start to remove it. If you're in deaf man, deaf woman, as you exhale, start to draw the knees toward the chest. A little bit of core control, very similar to Pilates actions, right? You're drawing the belly towards the spine. You're decelerating, using your lower abs to control the movement out of this. As the legs come down, you can soften the knees slightly. We'll just take an easy knee knock in. How's that feel? Let's finish our practice. So, draw both knees towards the chest, grabbing the backs of the thighs, or opposite elbow. It's a hug, so you're not necessarily pulling, it's more of a squeeze, like you haven't seen somebody in a long time, and you're giving them a squeezy hug, not like, don't ever let them go hug. There's a difference. Breathe, take a big inhale as you exhale, coming into Shavasana. This is going to be simple. You're going to talk to your body like you would a friend. If your friend brought you a cup of coffee or donuts from Kettle Glaze in Los Angeles, the best donuts in the world, you would be like, thank you. Not only do I appreciate it, but now you're my best friend. So that's the kind of vibe you're going to give it. It's just your best friend. You're saying, hi, it's been a while. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, send the breath into the feet, the calves, the quads, letting the breath spiral into the body. The muscles are going to be jelly because they're jelly of what just happened, right? They're relaxed. Taking another inhale into the body. As you exhale, send the breath into the glutes, the rib cage, the forearms, the low back. Body will get a little heavier, a little more settled, a little more grounded. Inhale, send the exhale to the mid-back, upper back, shoulders, bones are heavy, muscles are jelly. Breath is just washing over you. Draw another deep inhale in. As you exhale, let it deflate. Send it to the back of the neck, the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, the cheeks. Everything starts to drop down a little bit further. Take another deep inhale. As you exhale, send the breath to the very top part of the head, letting everything spill onto the floor, as if you were at an aquarium and you were looking at the aquarium full of fish in the water. The fish are your thoughts. So you're just going to watch them swim on by. You're not going to try to hold on to them. You're not going to try to judge them, because you can't. Because when have you ever gone to an aquarium to judge the fish? You're just going to notice the fish go by. In fact, you might pay a little more attention to the water. Breathing into the body, letting your nervous system relax, letting the thoughts go by. On your next inhale, you're going to start to wiggle the fingers and toes. If you're from Hollywood, trying to make it in Hollywood, this will remind you. It's like you're going to crash on a friend's couch, draw your knees towards the chest. Your friend has a couch, but it's a tiny little couch. So you're going to ball up in it. There's no pillows. You're going to roll to the right side of the body, making a pillow with the arms, so the bottom arm can be long, knees are towards the chest, nice and comfortable. Reset, reborn. Pressing up into a seated pose. Closing out your practice, inhale, arms reach up high to the sky, exhale, hands to heart center. Keeping it simple. I'm going to look for the best in you. Please do so for me. And do that when it's challenging, not when it's easy. That way you'll get the most out of it. And so it goes. Thank you so much for allowing me to teach. Namaste. And thank you, Rach, for the wonderful demonstration. We'll see you guys next time.